In this video, we'll describe transformations of the basic rational functions 1 over x and f of x equals 1 over x squared. Our first function is g of x, which is equal to 1 divided by 3 minus x. We can rewrite this function as 1 divided by negative x plus 3. So the transformations that take place is that notice that these are changes to x. So our first transformation, this plus 3, indicates that we're going to shift f of x equals 1 divided by x left 3 units. Then we have to consider what the negative on the x does. So remember that this is saying we're going to take the opposite of x, but the opposite of x occurs across the y-axis. And so this will then reflect the graph across the y-axis. And you can certainly confirm that on your calculator, but let's just think about how that would look, just a rough sketch. So we know that 1 over x has the branches to the left of the y-axis and to the right. To shift it left 3 would mean that we're going to shift our vertical asymptote left 3 units. And then we would not change the horizontal asymptote, but then our graph is going to come over to the left like this. And then we've got to reflect that over the y-axis. So our asymptote at negative 3 now becomes an asymptote at 3. And then when we reflect across the axis, it's going to take everything and flip it over so that our graph now looks like this. What about the graph of h of x, which is equal to negative 1? What about the graph of h of x, which is equal to negative 1 divided by x plus 3 squared? So now we have a transformation of 1 over x squared. Recall 1 over x squared is an even function, so it does the same to the left and right side of that vertical asymptote. So we're looking at this plus 3 inside and then the opposite on the outside. So the opposite on the outside suggests that we're going to reflect the graph across, we'll think about this, the opposite of y occurs across the x-axis, so we're going to reflect across the x-axis. And then the plus 3 in the denominator tells us that we're going to shift the graph left 3 units. And so first, to reflect across the x-axis means that everything's going to flip downward. And then we're going to shift that left 3 units. So we have a vertical asymptote at negative 3, x equals negative 3. And the graph will shift to the left 3 units, just to get a rough sketch of that.